Hook. Imagine finding a coin in your collection that could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, one that could change your life overnight. A dime. Yes, a simple dime from 1984 could potentially fetch you up to $895,000. Sounds crazy? Keep watching because in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you how this seemingly ordinary coin might just be your ticket to a much wealthier lifestyle. Now, let's take a step back in time. You probably don't give much thought to a dime, right? It's that small coin in your pocket that gets lost under the car seat or stuck in the lint of your jeans. But imagine for a second that one of those dimes, the 1984 Roosevelt Dime, could be worth more than a brand new car or even a house. That's right, a single dime could be worth a small fortune. How can a dime possibly be worth that much? Well, here's where it gets interesting. This dime, minted in 1984 at the Philadelphia Mint, is one of those rare finds that could make you a millionaire. And here's the kicker, there are only a few of these dimes floating around. They're incredibly rare and often mistaken for common ones. Well, it's all about its unique characteristics. Unlike regular dimes that are mass-produced, this one has something wrong with it, something that makes it incredibly valuable. You see, when certain dimes are minted with slight imperfections or unique characteristics, their value skyrockets. The condition, rarity, and the story behind the coin are what make it so appealing to collectors and investors alike. How do you spot a 1984 Roosevelt Dime worth $895,000? Stick with me, and I'll reveal exactly what to look for in just a minute. All right, let's break this down. The 1984 Roosevelt Dime wasn't supposed to be rare. After all, it's from the 1980s, and thousands of dimes were produced each year. But here's the catch, every so often, there's a mistake. And when that mistake happens, it can create an incredibly valuable coin. But how rare are these mistakes, really? So rare that only a few of these 1984 Roosevelt dimes have survived in pristine condition. But let's talk numbers because that's where the magic happens. A regular 1984 Roosevelt dime isn't worth much more than 10 cents. But if it's in perfect condition or has the unique characteristics we're about to talk about, it could easily fetch hundreds of thousands or even $1 million. So, why does this coin sell for such an astronomical price? It all comes down to demand and rarity. Coin collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for these dimes because they know how hard it is to find one in mint condition. They also know that if they hold onto it long enough, its value will likely continue to rise as more collectors become aware of its existence. What are the exact signs that tell you your 1984 dime is the one worth a fortune? You'll want to pay attention closely now, because this could make all the difference in your coin collecting journey. All right, let's cut to the chase. You found the 1984 Roosevelt Dime in your collection, but how can you be sure it's one of the valuable ones? This is where the excitement starts to build, because if you've got one of these, you're sitting on a gold mine. The key factor that separates this dime from others is its condition. To fetch anywhere near $895,000, the coin must be in near-perfect, uncirculated condition. We're talking about a coin that hasn't been damaged by wear and tear or even by being handled too much. These dimes are in almost flawless condition, with sharp details and no visible scratches or marks. But here's where it gets a bit tricky. Most people don't realize the value of these rare dimes and end up selling them for pocket change at garage sales or pawn shops. That's the real tragedy here. You might have one of these dimes hidden in your collection right now, and you could be completely unaware of its value. If you do find a 1984 Roosevelt dime, you need to get it appraised by a professional. Don't just take anyone's word for it. You've got to know exactly how much it's worth before you make any decisions. This could be your chance to change your financial future, but you need to act fast because these rare coins don't stay hidden for long. Here's a little pattern interrupt to keep you on your toes. Have you ever thought about how many missed opportunities you've had in the past to cash in on something valuable? Think about it. How many times have you come across something that you knew could be worth something but didn't act quickly enough? Don't let that happen with the 1984 dime. If you wait too long to sell, the market could change. Coin values are volatile, and there's no guarantee that these dimes will always be worth $895,000. The market could drop, and your potential wealth could slip through your fingers. Timing is everything. If you think you've got a 1984 Roosevelt dime in your collection, don't wait. Get it appraised. Act now before the market shifts, and you could find yourself in a completely different financial situation. This could be your moment to step into a life of luxury, wealth, and endless possibilities. As we wrap up, let me leave you with this. Don't underestimate the power of a simple dime. If you've got a 1984 P. Roosevelt dime in your collection, it might just be your golden ticket. Act fast, get it appraised, and you could be one step closer to living the wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Opportunities like this don't come around often. So, don't let your treasure slip through your fingers. Make sure you're paying attention, doing your research, and taking the necessary steps to make the most of what could be a life-changing discovery. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on more valuable coin discoveries like this one. Stay tuned for more secrets, tips, and stories that could change your financial future forever. How would you feel if I told you that one dime, just a single 1982 P. Roosevelt dime, could change your life forever? Not only is it rare, but it's worth nearly $1 million. That's right, this dime could put you on the path to living a wealthier lifestyle, one that could have you looking at your old coins in a whole new way. But before you rush to check your drawers, let's dive into the fascinating details of this rare coin, because trust me, what I'm about to share might just make you rethink everything you know about collecting coins. Stay tuned to the end, because I'm going to share a trick for spotting a dime worth a fortune that most collectors don't even know about. Now, many of us have had that moment, right? Maybe you found a few old coins in a box somewhere, or dug through the change tray, thinking, could one of these be worth something? Well, if you've ever wondered about the hidden potential of those seemingly insignificant coins, you're not alone. For years, collectors have been hunting for rare coins with a story, coins that didn't just go through the mint, but ones that escaped unnoticed. Sitting quietly in circulation for decades, waiting for the right collector or buyer to discover their true worth. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And with coins, that saying couldn't be truer. But we're not talking about just any coin here. We're talking about the 1982 P. Roosevelt dime. This coin, stamped with history, could potentially have you walking away with a small fortune. Well, before 1982, dimes were made with a composition of 90% silver and 10% copper. In 1982, however, the mint changed things. They made dimes out of a cupronickel blend, dramatically changing the way these coins would age and how much they would eventually be worth. Yet, some of these 1982 P dimes, due to minting errors, slipped through the cracks and are now worth hundreds of thousands, even close to $1 million. You see, in rare cases, the 1982 P dime wasn't struck correctly. And this tiny mistake, the result of a machine error, is what makes it so valuable today. But there's a catch. Not every 1982 P dime is worth a fortune. That's where things get tricky. Now, you might be thinking, all right, but how do I know if I have one of these $1 million dimes? Great question. It's about knowing what to look for. A key factor in determining if your 1982 P dime is valuable lies in something called the no mint mark error. In most years, dimes have a mint mark under Roosevelt's neck, but some of the 1982 P dimes don't have that mint mark at all. This makes them highly sought after by collectors. Not all of them are perfect. Many have gone unnoticed, buried in piles of loose change, simply because people didn't know they were looking for something out of the ordinary. Let's think about it for a moment. You find an old dime sitting in your change jar. At first glance, it seems like just another dime. But what if that coin could put you on the path to a wealthier life? What if that small piece of change sitting in your pocket or on your desk was worth nearly $1 million? That's the kind of opportunity we're talking about here. You may think, no way. How could I get my hands on one of those? But trust me, they're out there. And people are discovering them every day, often when they least expect it. Let me tell you a quick story. One collector found a 1982 P. Roosevelt dime tucked away in an old box of coins from his grandmother's estate. He nearly tossed it aside, thinking it was just another worthless dime. But something told him to look closer, and when he did, he realized it didn't have the mint mark. This turned out to be one of those rare error coins that sold for close to $1 million. That could be you. All right, let's talk about what comes next. If you've been paying attention, you know the importance of recognizing rare coins and knowing how to sell them. But here's the real kicker. Even if you have a rare 1982 P dime, the market is constantly shifting. You need to be strategic. The longer you wait, the more you risk losing the maximum value. The demand for rare coins is rising, and you don't want to miss out on that opportunity. Where do I even start? Well, I'll tell you this, timing is everything. The market for rare coins is like a ticking clock, and if you're not careful, the opportunity to sell for a great price might slip away. Do your research, And make sure to connect with reputable dealers or auction houses who specialize in rare coins. Rare coins like the 1982 P. Roosevelt Dime are becoming harder to find. As more people realize their worth, they're being scooped up fast. So if you find one, don't wait for too long to make your move. The collectors who make the most money aren't the ones who just find the coin. They're the ones who know the exact moment to sell it for the highest possible price. That could be you, but only if you act quickly. Now, I know you're probably on the edge of your seat, wondering what happens if you don't have one of these rare dimes in your collection. Well, here's where it gets interesting. In the world of rare coins, there are always hidden treasures out there waiting to be found. The 1982 P. Roosevelt Dime is just one example. Will you take action? Will you dive into your old coin collection and see if you have one of these dimes just waiting to be discovered? Or will you let this opportunity slip by, all while someone else cashes in on what could be a game changer? Time is ticking, and the coin market is moving fast. If you've got old pennies, dimes, or quarters sitting around, now is the time to take another look. Do your research, get connected, and who knows, you could be the next one to sell a rare coin for millions. So, if you're serious about turning your passion for coins into a path to wealth, don't wait. Check your collections, take the necessary steps, and start your journey today. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, because you won't want to miss the next video where we explore even more coins that could change your financial future. What if I told you that a dime, a simple, everyday coin, could be worth nearly $1 million? I know it sounds insane, but stick with me for a second. Imagine rummaging through your pocket change, pulling out a dime, and realizing it's not just a 10-cent piece. It's your ticket to financial freedom. That if you think that's impossible, you're in for a surprise. The 2023 P. Roosevelt's one dime is quietly sitting out there, with a market value skyrocketing to a staggering $866,000. And it's not just rare by accident. There's a very specific reason this coin is worth so much. But before you start diving into your loose change drawer, let's break down how to spot this coin and why it's turning heads in the numismatic world right now. Stick around, because the real value of this dime might shock you, and you don't want to miss how you can profit from it. All right, let's rewind for a second. Picture this. It's 2023, and the US Mint releases a new batch of Roosevelt dimes. While most people overlook these coins, a select few stand out, one stamped with the P Mintmark. Why? Because these particular dimes have something rare about them that you won't find in your average coin collection. The 2023 P. Roosevelt's one dime has some critical features that set it apart from the typical dime. But first, let's talk about the history of Roosevelt's dimes. Franklin D. Roosevelt, our 32nd president, is forever remembered on the dime. However, what most people don't realize is that the design has evolved over the years. It's not just a coin. It's a symbol of resilience and history, qualities that resonate with collectors. Now, you might be asking, why is a dime worth so much? It's just 10 cents. Well, here's where it gets interesting. This coin wasn't just minted like all the others. The 2023 P. Roosevelt's one dime was minted in limited numbers, and certain flaws made it incredibly rare. And when rare coins surface, especially one as iconic as the Roosevelt dime, their value begins to climb, often in unpredictable ways. The market for rare coins has exploded recently. So, if you're someone who has a 2023 P dime lying around, it might just be sitting there, quietly appreciating in value. And no, I'm not talking about the pennies you toss in your drawer when you're cleaning up. This dime, it's not just pocket change anymore. It's a rare gem in the numismatic world. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. I'll never find a coin like that, right? Well, what if I told you this dime could be sitting in your collection right now, unnoticed? Kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. If the needle was worth nearly $1 million. Wild, right? But hey, it's the kind of thing that happens in this world of rare coins. All right, so how do you spot a dime that's worth close to $1 million? Great question. This is where it gets exciting. And if you're on the edge of your seat, good, because you're going to want to listen closely here. The 2023 P. Roosevelt's one dime features a unique combination of features that make it valuable. First, you have to make sure it's from the correct year, 2023. It has to have that P Mint mark on the reverse side, which stands for the Philadelphia Mint. If you're thinking of a dime from another year, like 2022 or earlier, you're not dealing with the same rarity. Trust me, it has to have specific wear and tear from the minting process. You see, A few were minted with a tiny flaw, an imperfection in the design, which makes them even rarer. But here's the kicker. Most of these flaws are so small that they're nearly impossible to spot unless you're a pro at coin collecting. So, how can you tell if you found a winner? Have you ever wondered if that old change jar at home could be worth more than just spare change? Well, after the break, I'm going to reveal exactly how to identify a rare coin and where you should take it for appraisal. Stick around. You're about to find out the key details that could make you thousands, if not millions, richer. First, make sure you've got the coin in mint condition. Condition is everything. A coin that's been circulated too much might not be worth as much as one that's been kept in pristine condition. So, store it carefully. The next step is to get it appraised by an expert. Not just any expert, a certified numismatist who can verify its authenticity and evaluate its condition. The good news? You don't have to go hunting for these experts. Many trusted dealers and auction houses now offer online services to evaluate rare coins. Can I sell it right away? Of course, you can, but here's the thing. If you hold on to this dime and wait for the market to increase even more, you could sell it for even higher than the current value of $866,000. Coins like these are often auctioned off at prices much higher than their appraised value. You're not just dealing with a dime. You're holding onto a piece of history, a potential jackpot. But with all that potential, you also need to make a smart move. Timing is everything in the coin world. The moment the coin is verified and appraised, you've got a decision to make. Do you sell it now? Or do you wait for the right moment when the price spikes even higher? But before you rush out to get your dime appraised, you need to know something even more important. There's one final piece to the puzzle that could skyrocket your coin's value beyond anything you've imagined. And no, it's not about the condition or even the mint mark. It's something much, much more rare. I'll reveal that after the break. Don't go anywhere. By now, you've learned a lot about the 2023 P. Roosevelt's one dime and its growing value. But before you go digging through your change jar, remember, these coins don't just appear out of nowhere. They've been hiding in plain sight, waiting for the right collector or the right time to make its value known. Sitting around. This could be your chance to cash in. But you need to act fast. The market is heating up, and there's no telling how high these values will climb in the future. In the end, owning rare coins is about more than just money. It's about owning a piece of history, something that could transform your life in ways you never thought possible. So go ahead, check your collection, find those hidden gems. And who knows, the next coin you find might just be your ticket to a wealthier, more exciting future. Thanks for watching, and if you want to learn more about rare coins and how you can profit from them, hit that subscribe button. Don't wait. Start your journey to financial freedom today. Do you have a coin from 1988 sitting in a drawer or coin jar? Well, hold on to your hats because what you might have there could change your financial future forever. That's right. I'm talking about the rare 1988 P. Roosevelt Dime, a coin that could be worth nearly $1 million. This isn't your average pocket change, folks. In fact, it's closer to a treasure than you might imagine. You might be asking yourself, why on earth would a dime from 1988 be worth so much? You've come to the right place to find out. And trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end because I'm about to drop some jaw-dropping facts and strategies that could turn your coin collection into a fortune. So, if you've ever dreamed of a life where you're living luxuriously with financial freedom, don't blink because this could be your ticket. Let's dive into the world of coin collecting and discover the hidden gem that could make you a millionaire. Now, I know what you're thinking. A dime? Seriously? How could something as small as a dime ever be worth $976,000? Well, let me paint you a picture. Roosevelt dimes were first minted in 1946 to honor the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt, and they've been in circulation for decades. But not all of them are created equal. In fact, the 1988 P. Roosevelt Dime, with its subtle mint mark, is a very rare coin. When you look at the minting process, millions of these coins were produced every year, but only a handful have the characteristics that make them so valuable. It's not just about age or rarity. This coin's worth is tied to a specific combination of errors and nuances that make it highly sought after by collectors. You're holding onto a coin you thought was nothing special, but it turns out it could be worth nearly $1 million. I know it sounds unbelievable, but this is the reality of rare coin collecting. All right, so let's break it down. How do you know if the dime in your possession is the one worth almost $1 million? Here's where it gets interesting, and trust me, If you pay attention, you'll have the upper hand when it comes to identifying valuable coins. First off, the mint mark on your coin matters. For the 1988 P. Roosevelt Dime, the P mint mark stands for the Philadelphia Mint, and it's crucial for identifying the worth of your coin. But here's the catch. Most people don't know that even a small flaw or unique feature in the minting process can drastically change the value of a coin. We're talking about errors like doubling, misstrikes, or even coins with minor scratches that have been deemed attractive by collectors. This coin's worth isn't just based on the fact that it's from 1988. It's the minting conditions, the condition of the coin, and, of course, how rare it is to find one in perfect condition. And if you find one with the right combination of features, you might have a true gold mine on your hands. How many of you have ever taken a closer look at the coins in your wallet? I bet most of you haven't until now. But imagine that dime sitting in your change jar might be the one that could change everything for you. So, what's the current market value of the 1988 P. Roosevelt Dime? Drumroll, please. It's valued at a staggering $976,000. That's right, nearly $1 million for a coin that, for years, might have just sat in your coin jar collecting dust. It's hard to believe, isn't it? Now, I can feel you getting excited. But here's the thing. The market for rare coins is constantly shifting. Prices go up and down. So, if you have one of these valuable dimes, you need to act fast. The longer you wait, the greater the risk of missing out on a peak in the market. The best time to sell is when the demand is high, and right now, demand for rare coins is at an all-time high. Coin collectors and investors are actively searching for these rare finds, and you could be sitting on a fortune. It's not just about finding the coin. It's about knowing how to sell it. You need to understand where to sell it, how to get it graded, and how to reach the right buyers. Getting top dollar isn't automatic. It takes strategy. And just like that, you could go from holding on to a dime to holding a check that could change your life. Imagine the freedom, the luxury, the ability to live life on your terms. But the window to capitalize on this opportunity is small. If you wait too long, you could miss out on your chance to cash in. Before you rush to dig through your change jars and coin boxes, I need to tell you something important. There's a hidden part of this coin's value that very few people know about. It's a little-known secret that could make or break your sale. And trust me, you'll want to know what this is if you're serious about turning your dime into a fortune. I'm going to reveal that secret next. But first, let's take a quick look at how these rare coins have been impacting people's lives. You won't believe what some collectors have done with the fortune they've made from a single coin. Stick with me, and you won't regret it. So, now you know that the 1988 P. Roosevelt Dime could be worth nearly $1 million. The question is, do you have one? And if so, are you ready to turn it into the life-changing cash that could pave the way to your wealth and success? Don't let this opportunity slip through your fingers. The clock is ticking, and your next step could change everything. Now, remember, the world of coin collecting isn't just about finding coins. It's about knowing how to leverage their value, get them graded, and sell them at the right moment. If you're looking for more tips on rare coins and how to profit from them, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The journey to financial freedom starts with the knowledge you have, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. Hey, did you know that one small dime could change your entire financial future? I'm talking about the 2000 P. Mintmark Roosevelt's one dime. Now, you might be thinking, a dime? Worth millions? That's impossible, but it's true. This rare coin is currently valued at over $856,000, and there's a chance you could find one in your pocket change right now. Stick around because today, I'm going to show you exactly how this dime went from a pocket filler to a life-changing asset, and how you might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. We talk about coins that could make you rich. Yes, that's right. Coins you may already have in your collection or stashed away in drawers and boxes. For those of you who are serious about turning your passion for collecting into a profitable venture, this is the place to be. Now, let's dive into this incredible story and discover why this particular dime could be worth millions. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll have a new appreciation for those old coins you might have tucked away. So, grab a seat, and let's get started. So, what exactly makes the 2000 P. Mintmark Roosevelt's one dime so valuable? At first glance, it looks like any other dime. But here's where things get interesting. This coin was released with a unique set of characteristics, some of which were completely unexpected. Let's rewind a bit. It's the year 2000, and the US Mint releases millions of dimes, including the Roosevelt series. But the 2000 P dime? That one had a hidden surprise. Due to a rare combination of minting errors and a limited number of coins being produced with the P Mintmark, this dime became a collector's dream. Here's the kicker. A small portion of the 2000 P dimes were struck with a subtle minting error that makes them stand out from the crowd. The design on some of these coins is slightly off-center. You wouldn't notice it with the naked eye unless you know what you're looking for. But trust me, experts are out there hunting these down. That tiny flaw, a misalignment of the dies during production, created a coin so rare that it has a market value of up to $856,000.1 mistake, one tiny detail. And you could be holding a coin worth more than most people's homes. Now, let's get real for a second. If you're sitting there with a stack of old coins or have a coin jar collecting dust in your attic, there's a chance, just a chance, that one of these dimes might be hiding among them. But here's the catch. You need to know what to look for. It's not just about blindly checking every dime you find. No. To really cash in on this, you need to pay attention to the specifics, the Mintmark, the condition of the coin, and most importantly, the distinct error that makes it so unique. You should be. Imagine the moment you discover you've got a dime worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. But here's the thing, time is ticking. This market is competitive, and coins like this are being snapped up by collectors faster than you can say found money. By the way, if you're still thinking, who would have thought a dime could be worth more than a car? Well, let me tell you, coins like this are more valuable than some luxury cars. Yep, that's right. And in case you're wondering, no, I haven't started selling dimes for a living yet. But if I found one of these, you bet I'd consider it. Okay, back to business. If you're looking at this and wondering why so many people are eager to get their hands on these dimes, here's why. Coin collectors, especially those who specialize in rare mint marks and errors, are willing to pay top dollar for these rare finds. The 2000 P. Roosevelt's one dime is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history. And history, my friends, doesn't come cheap. But hold up, before you rush off to check your coin jar, there's something you need to understand. The value of these dimes isn't just about the error. It's about the scarcity. The fewer coins available, the higher the demand, and the higher the price tag. That's Economics 101.so. Here's the million-dollar question. Could you be holding on to one of these rare dimes right now? You could be one lucky discovery away from transforming your financial situation. Now, I can almost hear the wheels turning in your head. But how do I know if my dime is the one? Well, that's the secret I'll be sharing with you in just a moment. I'll reveal exactly how you can determine if your dime is the one worth over $850,000 and how to get it appraised, because you don't want to make the mistake of letting this slip through your fingers. Time is of the essence here. These coins are flying off the market fast, and I don't want you to miss out. Imagine living a life where discovering a rare coin could set you up for financial freedom. It's possible. It's within your reach, but you've got to take action. Don't wait. Start looking through those old coins, learn how to identify the rare ones, and take the first step toward turning those forgotten treasures into a fortune. Don't let this opportunity slip away. Before you go, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss another coin that could change your life. You'll want to be in the know when the next big discovery hits. Remember, the next millionaire might be you. Keep searching, keep learning, and you might just strike gold, or should I say, silver. Stay tuned, because in our next video, we're going to uncover another rare coin that's making waves in the market, and I promise, it's one you'll want to know about before it's too late. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that could make you a millionaire overnight. You might have something right now that could change your life forever, and you probably don't even know it. Picture this, a simple dime, no Mintmark, just a piece of silver. But what if I told you that this unassuming dime has sold for as much as $686,000 on the open market? Yes, you heard me right, $686,000. Now, how does a coin like this, that most of us overlook, get to be worth so much? Stick around, because I'm going to take you on a journey today to show you exactly why this dime could be your ticket to a richer life. Before you scroll away, just stop and think for a second. You've probably got a stack of old coins somewhere, right? Maybe in a drawer or a jar that's gathering dust. Well, in the next few minutes, you'll find out how your dusty dimes might just be worth more than you ever imagined. This coin, made of 90% silver, was issued in honor of the 200th anniversary of America's independence. But something about this particular coin stands out. You see, there was a mistake, a rarity that slipped through the cracks of history. Most of the 1976 dimes have a mint mark, identifying where they were produced, but not this one. This anomaly, this no mint mark Roosevelt dime, is a true treasure for collectors. And why does it matter? In the world of numismatics, rarity equals value. A coin that was supposed to have a mint mark, but doesn't, is like finding a hidden gem in a sea of ordinary stones. What's even more mind-boggling is that these dimes didn't just turn up in some dusty vault. They were out there in circulation, being spent and forgotten, while collectors slowly realized their worth. So, now you might be asking, how do I know if I have one of these dimes? That's the cliffhanger I want to leave you with for now. But trust me, the answer is simpler than you think. Keep watching, and you'll discover exactly what to look for. When's the last time you checked your old coin jar? If you've got any coins from the 70s or earlier, don't just pass them by. They might be worth way more than you think. Who knows? You could be sitting on a fortune. Now, let's talk about the money. How did this seemingly regular dime jump from being worth just 10 cents to a staggering $686,000? It all comes down to rarity and condition. The number of these coins in good condition is incredibly limited. Think about it. The 1976 no mint mark dime wasn't meant to be rare. It was part of a standard issue. But when collectors and dealers started realizing that only a small number of these dimes existed, the demand skyrocketed. Some of these dimes have been auctioned for nearly 7 figures. Imagine that. A coin worth just a dime could bring you hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's like finding a $100 bill in a pile of change. But here's the twist. This coin isn't the only hidden treasure in your collection. There are so many other coins from different years that have the potential to be worth a fortune, but they're often overlooked by people who simply don't know what to look for. And that's where the urgency comes in. The market for rare coins is always moving, and prices can change overnight. The longer you wait to sell, the less you might get. So, if you have one of these rare dimes, or any other valuable coins lying around, now is the time to act. But don't get too excited yet, because there's more. You might be thinking, what's the catch? There's a reason why this particular coin is so valuable, and it might just shock you. But first, let's talk about something crucial that could make or break your coin's value. Condition matters more than you might think. A coin can be rare, but if it's not in good condition, its value could be significantly less. For a 1976 no mint mark Roosevelt dime to fetch anywhere near its top value, it needs to be in near mint condition. That means no scratches, no wear, and certainly no corrosion. It has to look almost as good as the day it was minted. Even if you don't have one of these in perfect condition, there's still hope. The market for rare coins is growing, and as more people begin to realize the value of their old dimes, the competition for these treasures is only going to increase. So, don't wait. If you're serious about turning your old coin collection into a gold mine, you need to start looking at your dimes, quarters, and pennies like never before. And don't just keep them hidden away. Get them appraised. You could be sitting on a fortune, but if you don't know what you have, you'll miss out on the chance to cash in. But wait, before you go, I've got one final piece of advice that could completely change the way you view your coin collection. The number of people cashing in on rare coins is growing, but most people still have no idea what they're holding. And you're about to learn something that will give you an edge over everyone else. So, you're probably wondering, what's the secret? Stick around, because I'm going to tell you exactly what sets the successful collectors apart from the ones who let their treasure slip through their fingers. In conclusion, the 1976 no mint mark Roosevelt's one dime coin is a prime example of how rarity and condition can elevate a coin from being a simple piece of currency to a highly sought-after collector's item. This coin isn't just valuable because of its age, it's valuable because it's rare, and people are willing to pay top dollar for it. But don't stop at just one coin. Look at your entire collection with a fresh set of eyes. That dime, that penny, that quarter, they could be worth way more than their face value. If you take action now, you could be well on your way to building the wealth you've always dreamed of. So, what are you waiting for? Go through those old coins. Get them appraised. And who knows? Your next trip to the bank could be the start of your journey to millions. Thanks for watching, and remember, opportunity doesn't knock twice. Don't let your coins slip through your fingers. Do you have any dimes in your drawer right now? What if I told you that a simple dime, one that you might have tossed aside for years, could be worth a staggering $889,000? Yes, you heard that right. A dime that could make you a millionaire. Stick with me, because this rare find isn't just a collector's item. It's a potential gold mine. But it's not just about finding one. It's about knowing what to look for, and I'm going to show you exactly how to spot it. If you're sitting there thinking, dimes? Really? Let me stop you right there. This isn't just any dime. It's the 2015 D. Roosevelt Dime. And today, I'm going to tell you why this coin is making headlines and why it could be your ticket to wealth. This sounds too good to be true. You've probably heard stories of coins that are worth a fortune, only to find out they're more common than a penny on the sidewalk. But trust me on this one's different. In fact, it's so rare and valuable that it might just change your life. So, let's take a step back. What is the 2015 Roosevelt Dime? We all know Roosevelt Dimes, those shiny little coins that slip through our fingers every day, right? They're not rare by themselves. You could walk into any coin shop and probably find hundreds of them in a matter of minutes. But here's the kicker. The 2015 Roosevelt Dime has a special twist, one that makes it a diamond in the rough. These dimes were part of a limited mintage that slipped past the public's radar. While most dimes from this year are worth just 10 cents, a small number of them were struck with a very subtle error, one that makes them worth an eye-watering $889,000. I'm not joking. This isn't a typo or an exaggeration. If you've got one of these dimes lying around, you might be holding on to more than just pocket change. How can a simple dime be worth so much? That's exactly what we're going to uncover. And let me tell you, this isn't just about the coin itself. It's about what it represents. The potential for you to step into a new world of wealth that before you run to dig through every old penny jar you have. There's something crucial you need to know. These coins aren't just rare by accident. They've got a very specific flaw that makes them so valuable. And this flaw, well, it could be hiding right in front of you. The secret is in the minting process. In 2015, a limited batch of Roosevelt dimes was struck with a unique minting error. These dimes, unlike their standard counterparts, have a slight off-center design that gives them a much higher value. But here's the thing. If you don't know what to look for, it's easy to miss. The way these errors happen is almost like a cosmic accident. And in the world of coin collecting, those accidents are what make coins worth millions. The key is knowing exactly how to spot the difference between a regular dime and one that could make you a millionaire. The untrained eye. It's not obvious. The design is slightly shifted, but not in a way that most people would notice unless they know exactly what they're looking for. That's why it's crucial to pay attention to the details. It's the difference between holding onto a dime worth 10 cents and one that could turn your entire financial situation around. But this isn't just about spotting the error. It's about understanding why this dime has such a high market value. The coin market is all about rarity and demand. As more people discover these rare finds, the competition increases and prices soar. Every day, collectors and investors are scrambling to get their hands on these elusive treasures, and they're willing to pay top dollar to get them. So, if you find one, you're sitting on a potential gold mine. Now, let's talk about urgency. I know what you're thinking. I can just wait until I find one. But here's the thing. Time is of the essence. You might think, I'll come across one eventually. But let me ask you this. What if you don't? What if you wait too long, and someone else grabs it before you even realize it? This is where the real magic happens. You see, rare coins like the 2015 Roosevelt Dime aren't just valuable today, they're going up in value. As more people learn about this error coin, the demand will continue to grow. Imagine getting in on the ground floor of an investment that could skyrocket in value over the next few years. That's what this dime represents. That the longer you wait to act, the more you risk missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You don't want to be the person who hears about someone else making a fortune from a rare dime and wonders why they didn't jump in sooner. Now, if you're feeling a little panicked or excited, good. That's exactly what this moment should feel like. This is your shot to take control of your financial future. Don't let this opportunity slip away. The time to act is now. I know the idea of selling your rare coins might sound daunting. Maybe you're worried about getting the right price or finding a trustworthy buyer. But there are plenty of resources and professionals who can help you make sure you get the value you deserve. And once you make the sale, you could walk away with a check for almost $1 million. Think about that for a second. A single dime, worth $889,000. Can you imagine what that could do for your life? While this coin might be worth almost $1 million today, tomorrow could bring a whole new set of coins on the market. The trick is to act fast. I'm going to share with you exactly how to sell these coins for maximum value in the next segment. And trust me, you won't want to miss it. Wrap it up. Your dimes may be worth far more than you ever imagined. The 2015 Roosevelt Dime is one of those rare finds that can change everything for you. But remember, Timing is everything. The sooner you spot it, the sooner you can capitalize on it. So, take a moment today to dig through your old coins, because you never know, you might be holding on to a treasure that could turn your financial dreams into a reality. Stay tuned, because up next, I'll walk you through exactly how to get your hands on the best buyers and make sure you get the top dollar for your rare coins. You won't want to miss it. Start searching those old coin jars, and who knows, you could be holding the key to your new life. And don't forget to subscribe, because I'm bringing more coin tips, tricks, and insights that will keep your wallet growing. You're scrolling through your coin collection, feeling nostalgic about those old coins you inherited from your grandfather. You've always known they had some value, but what if one of them could make you a fortune? Yes, I'm talking about that 1974 Roosevelt Dime that's been sitting in your drawer for decades. You might just have a coin worth up to $689,000. Now, I can hear you thinking, no way, a dime worth nearly $1 million? That sounds too good to be true. Stick with me for a moment, and I'll show you exactly why this coin could be your ticket to a wealthy lifestyle. So, how does a simple dime go from being worth just 10 cents to hundreds of thousands of dollars? And why are so many people sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it? Let's dive into it. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I had a friend, Bob, who had this exact problem. Bob was in his 50s, and like many of us, he'd inherited a collection of old coins from his father. But he didn't think much of it. One day, while talking over beers, he mentioned having a 1974 Roosevelt dime. I laughed and said, "You know, Bob, that dime could be worth a lot of money if it's a special one." Bob thought I was joking. After all, it's just a dime, right? It wasn't until he sent it off for grading that he found out the shocking truth. That simple dime was worth $689,000. Can you imagine the shock on his face when the appraiser told him the value? This could be you. But there's one catch. You need to know what to look for. And if you don't, you could be leaving thousands or even millions on the table. Now, let's break down why this particular coin is so valuable. We need to understand the history behind it, what makes it stand out, and most importantly, how you can spot one in your collection before someone else does. This is your golden ticket, but only if you know what to look for. The 1974 Roosevelt dime wasn't initially considered anything special by most collectors. It's just another dime minted in the 70s, right? But what makes this coin truly valuable is a rare error that occurred during its production. Due to a mistake at the Denver Mint, a small number of these dimes were struck with an extremely rare and unique characteristic. This is what you need to look for, an error in the minting process that gives the coin its distinct look. This dime's condition and the specific details of this error make it a rare find. The 1974 dime with a minting flaw is highly sought after, and its rarity is what drives its astronomical value. But there's more. Not every 1974 dime will be worth millions. It depends on several factors: the quality of the minting, the error itself, and the condition of the coin. You could be sitting on a dime that's worth $100,000, or you could have one that's worth a fraction of that. The difference? It's all about finding the right one. This is where the fear sets in. What if you have the dime, but you don't know how to properly assess it? There are so many people out there who've let their valuable coins slip through the cracks, either because they didn't know any better, or worse, because they didn't act fast enough. This coin's value is only going to rise as it becomes even rarer. The window of opportunity won't last forever. That's why you need to act now. Don't be the person who finds out too late that they could have lived a life of luxury, all because they didn't check their collection thoroughly. I know, this is a lot to digest. You're probably thinking, wait, I'm supposed to look at dimes with a magnifying glass now? Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. You don't need to be a coin expert to spot the treasure hidden in plain sight. But you do need to take action before someone else scoops up your fortune. And trust me, they will if you're not careful. So, how do you know if your dime is worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions? Let me walk you through it. First, check for the Mintmark. If you see a D on the back, you've got the right coin. But that's just the beginning. The real magic happens when you closely examine the details of the coin. Look at the minting quality. If the details are crisp and sharp, and if the error is noticeable, then you've got a highly valuable piece on your hands. You might even see that the coin looks slightly off-center, which is often a sign of the rare error that makes it so valuable. You find that dime in your collection, and you send it off for grading. It comes back as one of the rarest 1974 Roosevelt dimes in existence, graded as a gem quality coin. And just like that, You've just turned a pocket change dime into a $500,000 asset. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. What if you don't act now? You could miss your chance to sell it at the peak of its value. The market is hot, and buyers are eager. But once the word gets out, the demand will be so high that it'll be harder to find the right buyer at the right price. Check your collection now. Go through your coins, take a magnifying glass, and look for that mint mark. Remember, time is of the essence. The longer you wait, the more you risk missing out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Don't just sit on it. Get it graded by a professional and start contacting potential buyers. The next time someone asks you what you've been up to, you can say, "Oh, just living the dream, thanks to my 1974 Roosevelt Dime." In life, opportunities don't always knock twice. This could be the moment that changes everything for you. The chance to turn something as small as a dime into a life-changing sum of money. So, will you take action? Or will you let the opportunity slip away? The choice is yours. So, what will it be? The 1974 Roosevelt Dime could be sitting in your collection right now, waiting for you to discover its value. But will you find it before someone else does? Don't let this treasure slip away. And remember, the best way to get wealthy isn't just by collecting coins. It's knowing what you've got and acting before it's too late. Stay tuned for more videos where I'll show you other coins that could be hiding in plain sight, just waiting to make you a fortune.